So while the ANC's been launching its manifesto at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban today, we've seen a large number of activities by a new political party, Umkhonto weSizwe, particularly in the area around KZN. Yesterday, its leader, former President Jacob Zuma, said that he had been able to stop load shedding while he was president, and that South Africa was not a democracy because the people of the country were not actually in parliament. Of course, I'm sure you'll remember there was load shedding while Zuma was president. And the court has also found that the intense load shedding we have had recently was caused because the power plants were run too hard by the people appointed to Eskom while Zuma was president. Professor Mzikayise Binza is an expert, an independent expert on politics and governance. Professor, good afternoon to you and thank you for your time. We saw this week the new political party, Umkhonto weSizwe, claiming in court documents that the ANC could not claim the name Umkhonto weSizwe as its own. It claimed that Umkhonto weSizwe was formed independently of the ANC. Can it really argue that?
No, we all know that Umkhonto weSizwe was formed in 1961 as an armed struggle of the ANC. So it cannot be an independent.
It's interesting that they'll go on.
It's very interesting that the former president will state that.
I mean, it's interesting because he was a member of Umkhonto weSizwe, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
So, I mean, he must surely know the history, or what you say is the true history.
Yes, I mean, he knows. I think it's more of trying to play politics and then also to find ways of dealing with the ruling party where he's coming from, you know. It's probably like a personal vendetta. And I won't even say it's politics. It's probably silliness. I'm sorry to say that.
Sure. It's interesting because, I mean, okay, if we have a political party, let's just call it MK for the moment. It may have to change its name, but let's call it that. It could make all sorts of claims. It could campaign in KwaZulu-Natal. But it seems to me, and look, I'm sitting far away from KwaZulu-Natal, but that the only reason that everyone's talking about this party is because of Zuma. So if Zuma's not part of this party, is this party anything?
No, the former president is part of the party. In fact, he's the face of it. So it is quite a challenge if one would probably put it like that, because he's the face of it and he's the one campaigning, in particular at KZN. Probably he knows that there he's enjoying a lot of support from the people of KwaZulu-Natal. He may not be enjoying much support in other provinces as he is doing in KZN.
He says things that he ended load shedding when he was president, and my memory of that is that that's not true. He says things that he's never really said before. He said quite recently that he felt that, you know, South Africa, we needed to be very careful of the Electoral Commission when he accepted the outcomes of the Electoral Commission when he was leader of the ANC. He said yesterday that South Africa is not a true democracy. What message do you think he's trying to send?
It's difficult to speculate on that one and actually to give a very scientific voice, because he was the president. I mean, load shedding was there. I mean, for the past 10 years when he was in power, and there's been delays in the building of the nuclear plants because of him. So it's quite difficult that one would probably come in front of the country and state things like that. Because we have load shedding because of him as well.
I find it fascinating, you know, what's happening here, because, I mean, for a former president, former leader of a governing party to take on their party, I mean, it has happened in the world, I'm sure, but it happens very, very rarely. You say this is just a personal agenda. Is he just angry at what's happened to him and maybe also angry at being jailed by the Constitutional Court as well?
Yes, I'm yes, sir.
I was asking, why do you think former President Zuma has actually created this party and is playing such a big role in it? Is he just angry at how he's being treated? Is he angry at having lost political power? Or is it maybe revenge for the fact he was jailed by the Constitutional Court?
I think there are a number of factors. All three actually that you mentioned actually accepted, and the fact and the others would be that. If the courts are saying he must pay back the monies, I mean, how? I mean, that is not possible. You know, I mean, those that kind of payment will make him financially dry soonest. So they're basically the number of things that one may actually consider. And of course, in South Africa, there's a democracy. So the democracy allows people to do as they wish, as long as they are not actually in conflict with the rights of others. So he's free to do so. But in doing so, therefore, currently, as we know, that he's basically in conflict with the constitution of the ANC. So he's no longer a member of the ruling party. So he can do as he wish.
Do you think that this political party, MK, is it going to have a big impact in KwaZulu-Natal? I mean, is it going to get 10% maybe?
No, it will get less than that, because you must basically look at where he is campaigning. In KZN, he will get some few seats, yes, whether 1 or 2, but not 10%. 10% is too high. There are other political parties there that have got clout, your ANC, your EFF, and the IFP. So, I mean, those political parties are known of delivery, if I may put it that way. Not the NK party of JZ.
Professor Mzikayise Binza, thank you, an independent governance expert. Really appreciate the time.